Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of Finally Free Yourself from Copper Toxicity. And today we'll be talking about the common symptoms. And so we're going to start with a grounding meditation. Start by taking a few deep breaths. Filling your belly. And go ahead and send a grounding cord from the base of your spine, through your legs, and down the bottom of your feet, into the ground. And imagine roots going down into the ground, layer by layer. Eventually you reach the water layer. And keep on going, sending your roots all the way down to the center of the earth. You can close your eyes if they're not closed already. So imagine that your grounding cord is anchoring into the center of the earth like a magnet or like an anchor. Feel that grounded energy of gravity. And go ahead and start to draw up that grounded, calm, relaxed energy from the center of the earth through all the layers until you reach your feet. Go ahead and curl your toes and squeeze, hold that tension and let it go. Draw up the grounded relaxation energy in through your feet, up through your legs, and the shins and the calves, and your thighs. Go ahead and feel your pelvic bowl. And go ahead and squeeze everything in your pelvic bowl. Hold that tension and let it go. Let's intend to let go of all tension and stress. And continue to bring in calm, grounding energy into your pelvic bowl. Take a couple more breaths. Okay, so I'm going to get started with day 2, and here are the possible symptoms you may be experiencing. There can definitely be some overlap, and it's likely you have many things going on. In fact, many of these conditions commonly happen together. I'm going to go right into symptoms of unbalanced hormones. The first one is estrogen dominance or excess estrogen. This is very common because birth control, including the copper IUD, greatly contributes to estrogen dominance, meaning the balance of estrogen and progesterone. Copper binds with estrogen, so there is a direct link between copper toxicity and estrogen dominance. Pesticides and plastics in our food, plus chemicals in personal products, and in the air pollution are reasons why so many women are experiencing excess estrogen. And it's up to 50% of women, actually. And here are the common symptoms of excess estrogen: bloating, puffiness, and water retention, heavy bleeding, weight gain, especially around the hips and butt, increased breast size and tenderness, fibroids in the breast or uterine, endometriosis, mood swings, PMS, depression, irritability, crying about small things, mini breakdowns, anxiety, migraines or headaches around period, insomnia, brain fog, gallbladder problems, spider or varicose veins, and cellulite. So some of the symptoms of low progesterone, many of these symptoms are present here. Many of the same symptoms are present here because when you have high estrogen, it usually means you have low progesterone because it's a ratio. And at age 35, our production of progesterone decreases naturally. We become more estrogen dominant. So the symptoms are headaches around period, ovulation and breast cysts, ovarian and breast cysts or fibroids, sore, swollen breasts, restless legs at night, miscarriages, irregular cycles, painful or heavy periods, spotting mid-cycle, PMS, bloating or water retention, hot flashes, anxiety, irritability, agitation, difficulty falling asleep, and increased clumsiness or poor coordination. So now I'm going to go into thyroid issues. If you have an underactive thyroid or hypothyroidism, you may have hair loss, which includes the eyebrows and eyelashes, weight gain, even while eating healthy and exercising, depression, lethargy, anxiety, flickering eyelids, hair, skin, and nails can be dry, brittle, thinning, or breaking, high cholesterol levels, muscle or joint aches and pains, constipation, tingling in hands and feet, cold hands and feet, brain fog or slow thoughts, fatigue, tiredness or lethargy, low sex drive, infertility, enlarged thyroid, headaches, decreased sweating, slow speech, poor memory, slow reflexes, and heavy periods. And that does happen with copper excess. It tends to affect our thyroid, and it's more common to have the hypothyroid or slow thyroid. So adrenal fatigue, what happens first is high cortisol, and you may be feeling wired but tired. You struggle to calm down before bed, and a second wind comes that keeps you up. You have a difficulty staying or falling asleep, anxiety or nervousness, quickness to anger or rage plus screaming, feeling distracted, memory problems, sugar cravings, weight gain in the abdominal area, like a muffin top, skin conditions, bone loss, high blood sugar, indigestion, irregular menstrual cycles, unexplained pink or purple stretch marks on the belly or back, and decreased fertility. So after some time, when you get really burnt out, you get low cortisol, and you may be feeling fatigue, loss of stamina, especially in the afternoon, crying for no reason, decreased problem-solving ability, feeling stressed and overwhelmed most of the time. Everything seems difficult. Insomnia, especially waking up between 1 and 4. Low blood pressure, feeling dizzy when you stand up. Low blood sugar, salt cravings, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea, or loose stools alternating with constipation, muscle weakness, muscle or joint pain, hemorrhoids or varicose veins, and bruising easily. So copper does affect the adrenals as well by constantly overstimulating them. So now I'm going to go into copper toxicity, and this is a long list of possible symptoms, including headache and migraines, fatigue and exhaustion, adrenal depletion, PMS, estrogen dominance or progesterone deficiency, fibrocystic breast, sore breast, hypothyroid issues, hypoglycemia, heavy periods, spotting throughout the month or long-term bleeding, anemia, low libido or loss of sex drive, increased PMS, nausea, like unexplained morning sickness, low stomach acid, low digestive enzymes, trouble digesting and assimilating nutrients, weight gain, leaky gut, constipation, brain fog with spaciness, racing mind, feeling wired and tired, concentration and memory problems, insomnia, panic attacks, depression, hair loss and or whitening of hair, confused thinking due to liver disorders, chronic anxiety, irritability, emotional numbing, apathy or despondence, negative thoughts, even suicidal thoughts, personality change, OCD, withdrawal, isolation, chocolate cravings, allergies and mold sensitivity, lowered immunity, manic mood swings, depersonalization, confusion, disorientation or paranoia, despair, hopelessness, candida, yeast infections, joint aches and pains, hip, back, or pelvic pain, infertility, or reduced metabolism, slow wound repair, white spots on the nails, which is a sign of zinc deficiency, rashes, acne, weak immunity, increased infections, such as bacterial and fungal, cystic fibrosis, diabetes and diabetic nerve pain, ADD, pseudobipolar disorder, heart palpitations, and autoimmune disorders. So that's a lot, and the reasons there are so many of symptoms is because we get very nutrient deficient, our livers get overburdened, which governs almost everything in our body. The hormones get out of whack, and the adrenals and thyroid, of course, which govern a lot of things. Plus the digestion gets off. So that's why there's so many symptoms, and that's why it's complicated to heal. So risks of the pill include weight gain, mood swings, depression, anxiety, risk of autoimmune disease, heart attack, thyroid and adrenal issues, hormonal confusion, headaches, digestive problems like leaky gut, dysbiosis or IBD, fatigue, hair loss, dry skin, low libido, mineral, vitamin, and antioxidant depletion, especially of folate, B12, and magnesium. And there are risks of breast, cervical, and liver cancer with the pill, as well as diabetes. So you may have noticed that there is an overlap with symptoms and conditions. It makes it a little tricky to figure out what's going on sometimes. But that's okay, we don't always need to know exactly what's going on. Our intellect would love to know, however, there's lots of science to satisfy that part of ourselves. But I teach women to tune into their intuition and body to get answers within, because that is where healing happens. Emotions and experiences get stored in our bodies. So if we ask, what is being held here, we can get an answer. We can also ask our intuition what to do next. Everything is connected. So if one thing isn't functioning properly, there is a cascade effect. That's why I'm a big advocate for healthy lifestyle that is holistic, so we can address all aspects of our being. So how does mindset contribute to stress? Our thoughts are powerful. If you are in a victim state and you're constantly thinking that your life is so hard and that you are suffering constantly, then these thoughts will keep manifesting in your life the same kind of energy. Now, I want to acknowledge that you have been struggling for real, and yes, it has been really hard, and we're not going to deny that. So the first step is to acknowledge where you are and to accept it. So I teach a judgment release, and this is an amazing tool if you think things should be different than they are. So if you want to get out of the state that you're in, believe that you will get better soon. Believe that there is help available and it is totally possible to come out of the suffering. Try and change your thoughts to be more accepting of the present moment, because this is the only moment that we can make a difference in. It's okay to hope for a better future, but try and be present to feel the sensations right now. Your body has a lot to tell you, and if you listen more, it won't have to scream out in pain for your attention. The more stressed out thoughts you have, the more your body will react to this stress. Tell your body that you will focus on healing and you will try to listen to your intuition more. We are not dismissing, denying, or pretending we don't have problems, because you probably answered yes to a lot of the above symptoms. You have been experiencing many symptoms of copper toxicity and unbalanced hormones. We are acknowledging the problems so that we can make space for things to be different to prepare for healing. We are going to do a judgment release soon, but first, how do hormones affect emotions? Estrogen has a direct impact on dopamine and serotonin levels. This means that hormones can directly cause you to feel anxious, depressed, or irritable. This can be from fluctuations or imbalances of the hormones. Copper and estrogen rise together, so when one goes up, so does the other. And yes, we have experienced extreme emotions from this. All right. So now I'm going to go into how to manage emotions without repressing. Repressing holds down or holding down or trying not to feel emotions doesn't do any good. In fact, it causes more pain and trouble in the body sooner or later. Just feeling your feelings without judgment is healing. So we want to let our emotions flow. It's in the word, emotion. That doesn't mean lashing out at people or taking out our feelings on someone else. Blame and projection aren't productive. It means letting yourself cry when you need to, letting it flow until it's done. And don't let your mind say that you shouldn't cry. I used to believe I was ugly when I was crying. I had to let that go. With anxiety, you can let your body shake to let out the fear. That's what animals do when they are being chased and almost killed. They are able to get back to life without constant anxiety. But they probably don't have hormone imbalances. LOL. The mind can create more anxiety by thinking about what can go wrong in the future. Allow yourself to focus on something in your landscape to broaden your view. It helps to come out of the anxious state. Look for something pleasing to the eye. When we are anxious, our view is pinpointed. We are focused on what's going wrong so that we can survive. Look for what's going right in the present moment. Anger. When I am angry, I let it out by stomping my feet or moving my arms around to free up the energy. It's just me and my kids, so I'm not too embarrassed by doing this. Maybe there's a way to appropriately let out this energy in public, like speaking your truth. Just feel the sensations in your body. They may not be comfortable, but it doesn't last long. Accepting emotions is key. I have many tools to help you with this. When something comes up, just sit with it and don't try and figure out why you're feeling this way. The intellect really wants to know sometimes, but just allowing yourself to feel completely without thoughts, to ride the wave until it's over, actually resolves some things. Later on, you may realize why those feelings came up, or you may have a dream that gives you more insight. Let's take a moment to tune into your body right now. Notice any sensations you're experiencing right now, especially in your core. Any uncomfortable feelings there? Is it tight or loose, moving or still, hot or cold, heavy or light? If there's a judgment held here, what would it be? Maybe something like, I'm bad for choosing a particular birth control method. Or I'm bad for being copper toxic. Maybe I'm feeling bad for the way I express my emotions. We are constantly judging ourselves, so let's pick one to release. And what we do, we say, I release the judgment that I am bad because I am copper toxic. And take a deep breath. And then we're going to rephrase it. I release the judgment that being copper toxic is bad or wrong. I release the judgment that in fact I am copper toxic. And I release the judgment that I must continue to be copper toxic. Now tune into where you had the unpleasant feeling. How does it feel now? Is it better? If not, you may have more judgments to release. And we all have, so many judgments. So for the healing to begin, start to release the judgments you hold against yourself. And you will feel a lot less shame and guilt and just feeling bad because life has given you challenges. Life has given all of us challenges, and how we respond makes a huge difference. So that's it for today. If you want to put any questions in the chat, go ahead. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.